Welcome to part 3 of how to make homemade Tyrannosaur. Now, as you can see here, I've already got this side built, and in this part 3 we're going to be putting together the body of the Tyrannosaur. So, as you can see here, I've already attached the jaw here with the little peg here, and we'll have to do some modifications to how this articulates. So probably do a little more cutting right here and fix it, because right now the mouth doesn't want to open very well, but there we go. See, we got to clean that up so it doesn't do that. But that's what we're going to be working on today, and that's what we're doing, and getting the tops attached. So first we're going to do this, and if you want to attach this here, you can, but I'm going to wait. That way, when everything's attached, I can make sure they're exactly even instead of off at all. Okay, so that's what I'm going to wait to do till we get the body attached. So the first thing we need to do is cut out this section right here. So here we go. Be very careful. That. Again. Over here. Like so. Okay, just clean it up. Boom. Alright, so that's what it should look like. And then take your X-Acto knife, and where the little dot is, you want to just get that right out. And you don't apply like a lot of pressure, you just do it very gently so you get it through. Take your little peg thingy, put it in, rotate it around a little bit, then flatten it out. And I like to cut mine just so it's not too long inside. It doesn't interfere with anything. Don't cut it too short, just make sure you cut it a decent length. Kind of like that. Okay. Then clean up the area a little bit. Then, this is a very important step, take your front piece and make sure you cut right along the edge. And do it very carefully. Extremely careful. This is very important. And boom. Alright. So that's what it should look like. Just like that. Okay. A little bit of a mess up, but what are you gonna do? Alright, so now you're gonna take your top plate and you're gonna put it right on top of here. Like so. And make sure you get it on just right. So you gotta take your hot glue, and again make sure there's a nice opening here. So just like that. Don't put any hot glue there. And then take your plate, line it up perfectly as well as you can, and should be just like that. It turned out really good. Make sure it's nice and smooth. And yeah, alright. So now we're going to take our bottom jaw here. And again, you could trim this because we're going to need to trim it, because you can see here that we're going to have to trim this up a bit. But I'm not going to do that right now. So what you can do is come up and clean up, but I'm not going to do that till it's all attached, so I know exactly how much I need to clean up to make sure that doesn't overlap. So now take your hot glue, put it right down on the little knob. Take your jaw, line it up with the front, get it nice and smooth, just like so, and then press down back here. Clean up any excess hot glue, press it down, smooth it out, line it up, and boom, that's what it should look like. Alright, so you were doing just fine. Okay, so at this point you should have both sides done. or, pause and then do both sides. Alright, so do that. At this point, we're going to be doing the top section, and as you can see here, I have two different cuts out. I cut this one too short. The main reason why we're doing this is because this curve shape here is too difficult to do with actual cardboard. So we're going to have to cut it. Unless you want to try to wrap your T-Rex around it, but I highly suggest don't do that. This is actually the same top plate as the Ultimasaurus. This one over here was the top plate, but I cut the front too short. So fortunately, because I have two which are identical, I just use this one. So what you can do is use your ruler. And this is where this little line came in handy, because this is right down the center, so I knew right where the even line was. So just kind of, yeah, the little line here is the even mark, and then you can mark it up here and make it nice and straight. So just cut it, clean it up. And also, because of these sharp points on the tip, you want to smooth those out as well. Okay, so it should look somewhat like that. Yeah, it's not exact. Good enough for me. Good enough for me. It should be just fine. Should be just fine. Now I'm just going to, again, clean up the edges here, smooth them out. Alright, now comes for the part that I really don't like the most. And we're going to be taking a plate here, and we got to glue it from the tip here, then rotate it around. And I'm just going to do the head part first, just to get you guys started, and then you can do the rest. And again, this is, I hate doing this. Now, you're going to see this little curve here. Don't try to curve that with this, just flatten it out, just because it's going to be really difficult to curve. I have a solution for that later, I believe. Okay, so, yes, just take your time with this and work it like so. It's going to be messy, just like before. And it's going to be a fiddly pain like before. But that's just how it goes. See what I'm saying, how difficult this is. So, if you are having problems, that's fine, because it's definitely going to be a hassle at this point to get this all sealed in. But just take your time, and this size is probably not going to be that great, but it's okay because you can go in and fix it later. It's just trying to get it attached and everything hooked up and fiddled and filled around. So gotta really curve it down there and melt your fingers in the process. It's fine. This is all completely fine. Yeah, see, that's all fine because it will be all cleaned up at a later time. So just keep on working with this and fiddling. This, to me, is the hardest part of the entire build, is getting this body this top attached to the rest of the Tyrannosaur here. But it can be done. It's definitely one of those things that are very messy at this point. And it will take and again, reinforce the inside. Like I'm doing. Make sure you don't reinforce the parts that are messed up. Like if you look here, the front's really messed up, and that's okay. This is the part where we're gonna really fight this thing and get it fixed. So you just gotta go back with your mistakes that you've made. Well, I've made. Clean some of this hot glue out of here. So okay, now I'm ready to try again. Again, you just gotta take your time. And just work with it. Patience is the key. Take your time, and this is again the hardest part of the process because you got all these curves and different shapes you're trying to get down, and things that don't cooperate all that well. Get this all sealed up and cleaned up. Now we'll go to the front. Alright, so I believe I've shown you kind of how to get this done. The front here definitely need to be worked on, and what you can do if you have any mess ups, just cut it out and reapply it, because you'll find out that at this point it's going to be a lot easier with the rest of it all hooked together. Right? So just be patient and take your time and get the side attached. Okay, so once you got both sides attached, and you can see I haven't cleaned mine up at all. But, so what I did to clean this up, you can see this little cut here, what I did was I raised the jaw up, and whatever was hanging over, I took my pencil, traced it, and whatever left there, I took my scissors and I cut that away, and now the jaws work just fine. So that's how you're going to fix your teeth. So at this point we're going to attach the both the bottom right here, so that they both attach good. And you don't want to put too much hot glue right there, but let's just do that. So just apply a little bit right there. And then you want to line it up perfectly, slam them together, and there you go. Oh. I love when I get the jaw attached, because at that point it's starting to look out pretty good. And I'll probably work on it, attaching the jaw, because I don't know if I can show you here, but the jaw's a little off. And I have this line right here, so I'm going to actually cut this and reattach it, and try to make sure it's right at this line. I got center line to work with. And then at this point, you want to take your hot glue, smooth this all out, clean it all up, use your scissor, and just again clean all your Tyrannosaur up. And once it's all cleaned, we get to do my favorite part, and that's putting on the feet, the legs, and everything. So this is going to be awesome. Can't wait for you at that point. And from the looks of this, I don't really think we need to add anything extra there. That looks just fine right there. So I'm just going to leave it. Okay. Oh yeah, and also what you can do at this point is attach these. These are just little extra details. If you want to put these on, you can. If you don't want to put them on, you don't have to. So it's just there in case you want to add a little more of a detail around the eyes. I'm going to attach them, and again, you just use your hot glue, put it on right there, and attach them on there. So I'll just do that really quick and make sure you kind of get it all there. And just like so. Okay, just like that. Adds an extra little bit of detail, and then do it to the other side. And what you also can do is make sure that the tip of that tip and the other tip are nice and flush. So there you go. So just clean this all up. Use what you have to clean it up, and after this we'll move on to attaching the legs. And again, do not put the bottom on until we get the legs on. That's very important. No bottom until the legs. Alright, so first off, I like to say that I messed up on a step, but it can still be corrected. I will show you when I open the mouth here what I mean. So when you see when I open the mouth here, there should be a gum line from here to here at least. And if you look over on this side, I have put one in. Don't mind any of this red. That's going to be covered over when I color it. But as you can see on this side, I added the extra flap, and this side is missing. So the way I got this to refit back in is I got the jaw that was lined up with this. So if you can find your two bottom plates that were underneath here, find those. Try to figure out where you want them, and then you're going to have to reattach them. And I'm going to show you how to do that, and hopefully it works out fine for you. And also, once you're done with this, you need to apply Elmer's glue over the gum line. This is a step I messed up on, which just shows you that I am not perfect, and also don't remember things very well, but that's okay. So, let's first fix our guy's head here, and as you can see I haven't cleaned it up yet, so yes, I'm going to clean this up after we reattach the jaw gum things. Okay, so first you need some tape to do this, so you just need to cut off some little tiny strips. And if you kind of was like, wait a minute, you did something wrong here, then good on you, because yeah. So just get some tape on there. And if you've completely can't do this, then I apologize, but it still should turn out okay. You just won't have this feature here. Alright. So see how I kind of got that back in there? It's kind of a little floppy, but don't worry, I'll show you how to fix that here in a second. So you kind of just want to secure it from the back side first. And I would suggest trying to keep it from showing up on the front at all, just because it's really much of a hassle to cut the little tape off there. But you can just fold that over. And at this point, what you can see, there's a line right there where we've reattached the gum. It does not look much better. And if you look over here, it's got that too. Okay, never mind. I don't know what I was doing. So what you want to do is take a piece of paper at this point, and if you're trying to do what I did here and fix it up, you want to take a piece of paper and kind of line it up here and try to get the top line of here marked out and kind of just trace it. Like so, and then cut it out. So just cut it and test fit. See how well it is going to fit in there. Okay, that's as good as I'm going to be able to get it. So at this point, I would suggest using Elmer's glue to attach it, because if you use a glue stick, it just won't attach very well. And you don't have to do this part, but I'm just going to, just so I can get a nice smooth. And it will also reinforce the attachment. So just slip that in, attach it in there. So, and you can, so at this point just let it dry and clean it up and still work on stuff. So at this point you can either fold this around and inside and, or just cut it right there, but let it dry and then apply Elmer's glue on this, and then you want to color it in. Alright, so sorry, I apologize that I completely forgot that step. I just want to show you this tail before we move on. You can kind of see how the tail is kind of off here. That's why you always attach the front first, because sometimes the end is kind of messed up. So again, just clean that up, and yeah. Okay, so what you want to do with any tip left over like this, you don't want to cut from here. You can, but what I like to do is kind of just feel in anything like that. So I'm going to pinch it like that and just fill the inside of the tail with some hot glue. So I'm just going to pour it in like that. I'm just going to pinch it together and hold it until it dries, and then I'm going to trim it on the side that's a little too long. And I'm going to keep, so just clean it up a little bit, cut it. Like that, and it should look something like that. If you have any try to clean the tail up as much as you can, like that. Alright, tail looks pretty good. So at this point, we're going to attach the feet. Alright, and make sure you have the claws, so you don't have them like this, because that's wrong, because you don't want the little claws on the outside, on the inside. So, first thing we're going to attach are the feet to the Tyrannosaur. So we'll start with this side, with the left attaching to the right, and the right attaching to the left, which is just fine because this is the way it's gonna go. Okay, alright, so what you want to do is the whole line you have here, pour hot glue all in this zone, and then just attach the leg. So just get it all on here, like that. Take your leg, line it up right with the line that you drew, and then just smash your leg together, and it should stand and be perfect. Alright, so once you have the legs attached like so, you just attach the arms. So, then do the same thing to that side. Alright. So this is where you should be at this point. Looks pretty good, huh? And the feet, I can't really spread them out any farther than they already are. So they most likely are going to stay touchy. One of my toes are kind of off a little bit from the ground. See, this one's off a little bit, but that's okay. It's fine. It all holds together. It all works. So at this point, you're just going to take your bottom half, zip it underneath, and see how well it fits and all that stuff. And I don't know if you can see, but you can see the letters and stuff. I like to keep the side that you can't see the letters on, just because when you do spray paint, sometimes you can still see the stuff underneath. So I like to keep all of my stuff not like that. So now we just slip our T-Rex belly underneath, and once again you can kind of see how the feet are going to be kind of off a lot at this point. So you're going to have to clean this up and see how well it fits. So you just have to, and maybe I will give a little depth, I don't know, we'll just have to see. Alright, so once as you trim this up, and the best way that I figure out how to do it is if you put it underneath. Once you get the legs area trimmed up, so how I like to trim the legs is I put it here, and I figure out where the legs attach, and I draw lines, and I end up cutting it right there. And then if you want to, you can lay it down like this, and whatever hanging over, take your pencil, draw it, and then cut it. And then it should end up looking pretty good. Alright. Okay. So at this step, we're going to glue it down. You won't be gluing all this down here, but it's just here to see what we need to actually glue down. Alright, so what you can do again is just to see how everything's going to attach, fold and stuff. And what I'm going to do is end up cutting this, well, not cutting it precisely, because I want to try something here. So I'm going to cut this here, and then use the method that I just told you, and trace right along the edge, like so, and then just cut that out. So, like that. And now I'm going to glue this all down, starting where the feet line is, and this is kind of wonky how to do this, so just because of this reason, I'll try to do it on camera. But first I'm going to fill the tail with hot glue just to make the tail stronger, which is a good idea. It adds a little more support, and that way the tail's not going to break on you. Alright, and since I started down here at the tail, I might as well just start as well. So okay, here I go. I'm trying to think about how I want to do this. Do I want to put the hot glue on this and then put it down? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this and do it like this, and then apply it as fast as possible. You can try a different way, but this is the way I'm going to do it. Boom, 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 boom. Boomly boom. Huh, worked out pretty good. And then at this point, because I did put a lot of hot glue in the back, I'm going to make sure it still stands. And it does. Cool. Alright, so now we just need to attach this to the rest of it. So let's see. What you can do is test it out first before actually doing it. So I'll just curve it up, see how well it's going to fit. Oh yeah, that'll be fine. This needs to be trimmed a little bit more though. See how much it's hanging over. So we're going to do a line there, cut that. Like so, and then I'm going to go down and reattach it, feel again, and recut, and that should do it. So now we'll raise Tyrannosaur up and apply the hot glue down. Then get this in here and get it down. Like so. Just like that. Then hold it in, which is very important to do. Alright. Okay. This wasn't too hard, was it? What you didn't see me do off screen is I actually took off the leg that I attached because the Tyrannosaurus head was like this, so I had to reposition it. So if you have that problem, you can get these off, though it's pretty difficult, but you kind of have to just slowly peel it off until you get it, you know, how you want it. So just thought I would tell you guys that I did that. It's pretty ugly right there, so I'm gonna have to try to clean that up. So if you have any gaps like this, you're gonna want to clean it up with your X-Acto knife, trying to just get it. Boy, it looks really bad over here. So you just want to dig it out, clean it up, and you're gonna reattach it down. So anything that you think is messy, like, see how this is kind of up, what you can do is cut it out and then pull it up, pour the hot, replace, and press back down again. So I'm not going to do that on screen, it's just really difficult. Alright, so I decided that this video's gone long enough and we're going to do the top layer on part 4 when we do the final finishing up. So at this point you want to clean all of the edges down here up, clean all of this up to the best of your ability, and if you can see mine, it's okay. And you can see I have this really big gap here. If you want to wait, we can do this together, but if you want to go ahead and fill this in, what you want to do is get another piece of cardboard, put it in here. You want to make sure it goes all the way to the end here, and then take the other piece. Well, take the other piece and go all the way here, but don't have it glue all the way down. Just put it about here, glue it like this much, and let the other big piece be here, and attach the next part. I'm trying to experiment to see if I can't make this all look like it's all the way sealed. So if you don't want to do that kind of, just do what you do with the Carnotaurus. And as you can see here, I got the red. Oh, that looks nice. Yeah. And again, it's okay if you get some reddish colors, because when you spray paint it, it will cover that up. So just go through and smooth the whole bottom layer up, clean it all up, and in part 4 we'll finish it up. Alright, hope you enjoyed part 3, and I'll see you on part 4.